What's going on, everyone? My name is Myles Farrington, and I'm here with my co-host,
Adam Leonard.
And Jordan Loeffler.
And we're here to bring you MONG Podcast, episode 144. This is a little sudden, but we're back. This episode is called Progression Halted, and it has been a while, but like I said, we're back. We're sicker and later than ever. But yeah, it's been a few weeks, so we're probably going to have to focus on either really awesome stuff or like what happened this week. But what's been going on with the website, Jordan?
All right. We have had Jeremy Lilleshur. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Jeremy. He's one of our new writers. He wrote 5 best gaming accessories all budget gamers need. Basically just a bunch of things that people on a budget could use for gaming. He has like a banana like hanging thing in there for like your headphones. Seems like kind of a cool idea. Check it out. Chris wrote 10 horror games to play on Halloween, but of course these are just 10 great horror games. You should check them out if you're interested in that. I wrote a World of Final Fantasy review. I really liked it. Let's see here. Last up, Chris also wrote a unboxing and did a video of an unboxing for Halo Legendary Crate for, I believe that is Loot Crate.
Okay, cool.
Yes, that's Loot Crate. And I think that is it.
Nice. Well, that's what's been going on with the website. And of course, if you would like to join the website and write for us, make videos, or whatever else odd things you have, like maybe the cure to the common cold, like whatever I have and Adam has, you are welcome to check out the links at the bottom of wherever you're listening or watching this at. And there should be one that says application, so fill that out. We can probably find a space for you, maybe, who knows. But regardless of what your talents are, we'd probably have some kind of place for you, so definitely fill it out. And can't wait to see your applications. But moving on to that, let's go over what's been going on with us since we've been gone for 3 weeks. Again, let's summarize it a little bit, I guess. Because we can't go back through like 3. Has it been 3 weeks, or does it just feel like it?
I don't think it's been 3 weeks.
No, I don't think it's been 3.
2?
Yeah, 2 sounds right.
Okay, 2 just feels long. So it's been 2 weeks, and I'm going to just go ahead and explain why. It's because we had some scheduling conflicts, and then we decided to reschedule and move the podcast to now, Tuesdays at 9:30. I forgot to change the overlay, even though I knew I was going to have to. Yep, definitely forgot to change the overlay. So, that's what's been going on with us. But, like I said, we're back. But, I'm dying. Adam, what's been going on with you, buddy? Go ahead and start us off like every time.
I've been traveling. I was in New York for just a little under a week. Got a chance to kind of reunite and catch up with my friendly neighborhood fanboy co-host, Chess. It was a good time. We got a tool around New York City. And probably the coolest thing, like, I don't think this has come up on the show. I don't even know if you guys actually know this about me, but I'm like a haunted house nerd. Like, I really like October, like seasonal, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
So I actually got a chance to go to what is largely considered one of the best haunted attractions in America. It's this place called Headless Horseman up in Ulster Park, New York. It was friggin' amazing.
Okay.
That was really neat. And besides that, game-wise, because I've been traveling, I was playing on my Vita. So I'm working my way through my second playthrough of Danganronpa 2.
Nice.
And been playing a little bit of Mafia 3. And yeah, I'm excited. I am tentatively thinking that I am actually going to get to do a full setup upgrade this month. I think I'm going to get a PS4 Pro, and I think I'm getting a 4K TV on Black Friday.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
Because as much as I try to deny it, I'm kind of a Sony fanboy, and if I can find half a reason to have it, I probably will. Myles is like either having a stroke or doing some kind of breakdance.
I turned off my mic so you wouldn't hear me coughing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That sounds great. I'm happy you're upgrading your setup. That's always a great feeling. Did you see anything like particularly spoopy at the haunted house?
Um, I think. Oh, well, I'm trying to think of like what was. I mean, there was tons of stuff. One of the cooler things I saw is there's like we were in this haunted greenhouse at one point, and you see like this giant animatronic Venus flytrap, and it's like all snapping its jaws. But then what you didn't know is it's like rigged to come at you, and so all of a sudden it starts swiftly moving in your direction, and that was pretty awesome. Uh, Also, there was a pretty sweet indoor, like somebody created like a really creepy harbor indoors, complete with like wrecked boat and stuff, and that was kind of neat.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
I admit, as a black man, I was worried when you said you like haunted houses because I thought you meant like the legit like, oh, a lot of people died here kind of houses, not like. Are you about to say you do?
I used to watch Ghost Hunters. I mean, I find that kind of interesting. I don't know if that I would want to. I like having controlled fear. I like being frightened, but knowing that it's all staged.
Good. That's the right kind of fear to want to have because the other kind is unreasonable. And people who mess with Ouija boards, you don't deserve to live. You're making bad decisions.
Yeah, like I would potentially find it interesting to visit a haunted location. I wouldn't want to dick around with like a Ouija board or anything like that because I don't know if I believe all the way, but I don't fucking find it. That's kind of the key thing there is I don't really need to know all that bad.
Exactly.
Believe
There's no reason
all the
to
way.
test it.
I like that. I'm gonna use that, Adam.
Yeah, my friends always ask me, they're like, you wouldn't want to know if there was like ghosts in your house and stuff? I'm like, no, because if they haven't messed with me yet, they're probably not going to, so I'm fine with it. I don't need to know they're there. But superstitions aside, since it's not, the boo time of the year anymore, Jordan, what were you up to? What you been up to?
So I played a lot of World of Final Fantasy, obviously. You can check out the review. I really, really liked it. It's a really fun game. Very, very Pokemon-esque. Pretty much exactly what you would expect. It's Pokemon and Final Fantasy mashed together in one thing. I also picked up Skyrim Special Edition for PS4. And the mods on it are nice. They're obviously not like any crazy mods or anything like that because it has to be all in-game assets. But like it does a good job of like beautifying the game, and of course there are exploding chickens. So I've been having fun going back into Skyrim, and my wife and I have actually created a character together, and we're just kind of going through it with that. So it's been fun. It's been good. I'll probably be in that for the next few weeks, I would imagine.
Very cool, very cool. Now, did you get the true ending in Final Fantasy?
I haven't actually gotten to the very, very end yet.
Okay, I won't say anything.
I'm close, but no, not yet.
It's
I know there are multiple endings though.
I've only seen two. Well, I'm sure you've seen the soft end, like where it's very not happy for anybody, right? Yeah, I've seen that one and the true end, and I was just like, this was 40 hours. I pretty much sat there and watched somebody play this for like 30 hours. I definitely wanted it by the end, but yeah. What have you found like a certain Mirage? Have you found a Mirage that's your favorite?
So I picked up the I'm not gonna remember what they're called, like the Iron Gnome or the Copper Gnome. There were Copper Gnomes or something like that in the beginning. And he like turns into the Mithril Giant and like has an even larger one after that. I really like that one a lot. It just like has like a swing ability that like just hits everything and does a lot of damage, just physical damage. I don't know what else. There's like the Memiaquus. Starts off as like a little baby kitten and then like turns into this giant sphinx. The one thing I really like about the game is that like there are obviously so many Mirages. They're like basically Pokemon in the game if you don't know.
Yeah.
But also that like they all feel like good evolutionary steps. Like it feels really rewarding when you get to like the next step of a Mirage. And that's one thing that really sold me on the game was just how rewarding that evolution felt.
Good. I admit I like the art direction from most of them. I know it's Final Fantasy, but they looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah. Do you hate Lon?
Yes.
Do you love Tama?
I don't love Tama, but Tama's grown on me. Way too many does. Not everything has to be a definite article. Yeah.
That is cute, and Tama is love. Tama is life.
Okay. But no, Lon's pretty annoying. Rain, I'm at least glad that like Rain gets some like more character development than Lon does. Like you actually get in her head a lot more, and like it seems to be that she's more the main character.
Very
which
true.
is better because Lon just like is annoying. He's a slapstick character, basically.
Yeah, this is extremely true. Personally, though, what I've been up to, I have officially fallen out of love with Destiny. Yeah, I know, right? And that's not I don't want to play it right now because there's no content. Actually, I'm not sure I want to ever go back to it.
Oh, what happened?
It's just like it's not even necessarily the game that I've fallen out of love with. Like it's still a good game. If someone asked me like, should I play Destiny right now, I'd be like, yeah, it's good. The drop rates are good, etc., etc. But I'm really tired of the people. Not just like the other gamers specifically, but Bungie themselves are just kind of goofing them, in my opinion. They have a bad habit of like releasing things without giving any heads up. So, like, the other week when hard mode was coming out, they didn't announce that, pretty much, like, when hard mode came out, something where your light level is supposed to be able to get up to 400, right? And I was really excited about that, and I planned on, playing for the day, getting myself up to 400, then going into hard mode later, maybe farming up more gear in case I needed it. And then they came out, like, as they released the patch, and it was like, oh, by the way, this won't happen until hard mode. It's like, and hard mode isn't for 4 hours. AKA, I could have done something with my day. Like, I could have planned my day and been doing something right now. Like, I missed a lunch because I was like, no, I kind of need to play because, I was trying to stream it, so I was trying to be all professional. I was like, I need to be there if this is happening. So I was like just really disappointed with that. And then like recently again, challenge mode for the raid, they just released it without telling anyone. They were just like, it was like no fanfare or anything. It was just like, oh, this is happening now. Like people had to find out by someone posting on Reddit being like, I have access to this. Is this right? I don't know if this is right or not because literally no one said anything. So that happened. And then just like they consistently, when they're releasing hot patches or hot fixes and patches, they don't release the patch notes beforehand, which makes no sense whatsoever to me because everyone else does that. They release it after it goes out, and it's just like, I mean, we don't have the choice to not apply the patch, so it's just stupid to me. And I don't know if I mentioned that on podcast, but I got DDoS the other night because we wouldn't let somebody run with us. So it's just like, yeah, I'm just done with this. It's just like it's taking a lot of my time. I'd rather be doing other things. I started playing Transformers Devastation, and that game is a lot of fun. So it's just like I'm okay with not playing Destiny again. So that's where I'm at in terms of Destiny. But beyond that, a couple topics that aren't video game related but bear mentioning. Adam might be excited with me for this. I hope he is. Or you too, Jordan. I don't know if you ever watched the first 2 seasons. Young Justice is finally coming back. Any excitement?
You know what's crazy is like everybody's tagging me on this. I haven't watched any Young Justice yet. Do I need to fix this?
Yes,
like
yes you do. Yes.
Okay.
That was an amazing series. It only got 2 seasons, unfortunately, and they like pretty much the last line of the series up until they announced that season 3 is coming out was the whole plan's coming together. And that was Darkseid saying that to Vandal Savage. And that was the last thing that anyone was ever going to hear of that series until now. And I mean, Adam, are you familiar with those 2 characters, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
So you understand why that would be a big thing where all the fans are like, what's happening? Because both you just got your butts kicked. What is your plan that's coming together? And they were just like, nah, we're done. We're just not going to do anymore. So, yeah, I'm really happy about that. And Doctor Strange came out and was really good. Adam and I were
Yes.
talking about that a little bit. Jordan, did you have a chance to see it?
I have not seen it. I'm actually kind of just trying to take it slow with Marvel lately. I want to let the hype die down before I go and watch it and form an opinion on it.
It's the interesting thing. It's like I'd like to point out though is like everybody I know is saying good,
Mm.
but it's very interesting to know good, not great.
Mm-hmm.
Which is about how where I'm at. I'm probably about an 8 on it. I think it had some of the usual problems, but some really cool visuals.
That's usually my problem with Marvel. Everybody around me is saying, "Oh, this is a great movie," and then I say, "But like, there's so many other good movies out that are better than this movie, and you're saying it's good because it's Marvel."
Okay, yeah, I don't agree with that, but I mean, it it's good though. I really enjoyed it. I
I,
give
I,
it like an
I
eight point five to a 9.
I'm not doubting that it's a good movie, but I want to let the all the dust settle before I actually go and see it, and talk to somebody about it. If it's a personal thing, I guess.
In terms of
I
this
didn't.
year, oh, go ahead.
I wasn't a huge fan of Civil War, so like that's like damned me in many people's eyes. But like I didn't think it was the greatest movie ever made. So
I don't know. I think I've kind of come to terms with you that just like I don't think it's something you do on purpose, but I do think you are in many ways the contrarian opinion. Like you tend to fluctuate where like the wide populace says yes, this is great. You seem to be somebody who oftentimes finds yourself with a much more moderate view of said things.
yeah,
Maybe you buy into the hype less.
Are
sure,
you calling him a hipster?
yeah, probably.
But no, like a hipster would be if he liked the Marvel films before they were popular or something like that.
That's true. That's true.
Very true. Very true.
No, and don't get me wrong. Like I do think they're fun movies. It's just that I prefer like non-Marvel movies, I guess.
Like
Not
okay,
DC.
Okay.
why don't you okay give us a handful of examples from like the last year, just so I can kind
I
of.
mean, okay, so the last movie that I just saw was The Handmaiden, which was really good. It came out very recently. It's by, and I can't think of his name right now. I'm looking it up. Park Chan Wook. He also directed Old Boy.
Oh,
You're
okay.
familiar with that? He's a good
Okay.
director. It's a really good movie. But it's like categorized as an erotic thriller. So the setup, apparently, according to IMDb, I'm just going to read that because I'm going to totally butcher it. Is with help from an orphaned pickpocket, a Korean con man devises an elaborate plot to seduce and bilk a Japanese woman out of her inheritance.
Huh.
So that's like a super, super died down like synopsis for that movie, but it's really good and I do recommend it like highly. But there's some really awkward scenes in there, so be careful who you watch it with. That's all I'll say.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
But anyways, so that's just an example. Like that's the movie that I went to see instead of
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
All right. I respect that. I won't. Yeah. I understand that Marvel movies do have like a bit of a craze kind of thing going on with them right now, and I mean I really enjoy. I think I've enjoyed all of them since a certain point, but I'm also big into comics and all that. So this is just kind of like my boyhood dream of finally seeing all these
Sure.
characters on the movie screen in a non-joking / horrible manner. So.
And don't get me wrong, like I'm not saying that they're bad movies.
Oh, yeah,
they're
no.
just not. They're not my movies. I mean, like if all Marvel movies could be like the Batman trilogy, that'd be cool. Like I like Dark and Gritty more than I like the like nice guy beat 'em up.
All right, so out of curiosity, this is more for Myles, but if you want to chip into Jordan, you can.
Sure.
And we're talking about the mainstream Marvel movies, like the part of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe specifically.
Sure.
Okay.
What do you think the best MCU movie is, and what do you think the worst MCU movie is?
One quick point. Move your mic up a little bit for me.
Okay. There.
And second, what I think the worst one was honestly current MCU. So,
So Iron Man on, basically.
Iron Man on. Then it would have to be. I feel like the Iron Man movies didn't. They were good, but I don't know. I didn't really like 3. I think just because Mickey Rourke's face bothers me, and also.
That's 2.
Oh,
That's
it's 2.
two, yeah.
That's 2. Okay. What was 3? Who was the villain?
That
3.
was, that was Extremis.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, 2 I didn't really like just because I felt like Whiplash was literally a little nothing to me. I also didn't really like Obadiah Stane, so both of those movies were just kind of like, hey, I like Iron Man, he's cool, but those final battles are nothing really. Like, I feel like the fight with Whiplash was just like, oh, it's over.
I was just so confused. I was like, why isn't Ricky Rourke like Crimson Dynamo?
Yeah, or like anyone of any more consequence. I'd never even heard of Whiplash before that movie. I honestly thought he was something they just made up for the movie. So yeah, I was really confused about that. But I'm also never been the biggest Iron Man fan. In terms of best movie though, it's kind of like a toss up because like I feel like Ant-Man is the best like character, if you will. That's hard to explain. I know a lot of people really hate him or really hate that movie, but I just like that he's a regular guy. I kind of respect that. I don't need my superheroes to be from Krypton or to be like freaking have the power cosmic. I don't need that. You know, it's cool, but I like that he's just a regular guy that got like roped into something, and then it was like it kind of worked out in the end. It's cool. In terms of like best action though, I thought Civil War was like really good, and in terms of best like making me care for a character who I don't care about, Doctor Strange, because I mean, again, I know Doctor Strange is extremely important in the Marvel universe, but he's also like he's like kind of B rank in my book. No one knows his villains. People are always like, Doctor Strange, he's the magic dude, right? It's like, I mean, he's one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe, but yeah.
I actually agree with you for worst. Actually, I think Iron Man 2 is like the worst Marvel film. I just think it's not even bad, which says something for Marvel. It's just forgettable.
Yeah.
I think the best, like, it's hard because like the nerd, like the pure nerd, and like the 8-year-old boy in me wants to say the original Avengers. Because basically, like, the original Avengers has all kinds of plot issues for about 2/3 of the movie, but it's like the last third is so good that you just forget the rest of it. And I literally think that the infamous like Avengers circle shot is like one of the finest moments in cinematic history, in my honest opinion. But I think when I search my heart, I think the best Marvel film and one of the better action films of recent memory is Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really solid.
Winter Soldier was an incredibly strong like espionage film.
Yeah. That's also a good one. Like that, I don't like Captain America really, so that was another movie that was like, oh, I don't like this main character, but I really like this movie. So,
what about you, Jordan? Do you have strong opinions?
So my what I think is the best one is probably a cheap answer, but I'm going to say it anyways. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I think that's fair.
Good.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy hit with people in a way nobody expected.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I say it's cheap is because it's part of the Marvel universe. It's just like very, very separated from it, at least for now. And worst, I don't know. I keep thinking about like the old like the first Captain America or like the first Thor. Like those weren't very good movies.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, they were brick building stuff. They served their purpose to try to build the universe together. But in comparison with some of their later efforts, I think you've got I think your opinion's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, we should probably move on. Otherwise, we'll become the.
Yeah, we should probably move a little quickly too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Anyway, time for
the news from nowhere.
I caught myself. I didn't say not all the way anyway. So, hey, Wii production is finally coming to a halt, even though it probably should have happened, or Wii U production, excuse me, is finally coming to a halt, even though it should have happened quite some time ago, in my opinion. So, yesterday, Eurogamer, citing multiple sources, reported that production of the Wii U would end this Friday, and this story is actually from November 2nd, so... Yeah, Wii production's already over. Yeah, Wii production is over. What do you guys think of that?
about time. I don't know, like probably expected. I think that it's good timing for when the Switch is supposed to debut.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone that's gonna be broken up about this. I feel like anyone that was gonna have a Wii U at this point has a Wii U, and some of those people aren't even happy with it. So, you know, Adam, you got any thoughts on Wii U production finally being smacked down? All right, that's the first story of the night.
Finally, Nintendo made a good decision in 2016. How about that?
Yeah, that's what we'll call that. But we're gonna move on to some actually good Nintendo news. Adam,
who wants some NX rumors or Switch? Sorry, Switch, not NX. Switch. Who wants some Switch rumors? Let's see here. So far, Nintendo has only revealed the new Switch console will be launching sometime in March, but according to Laura Kate Dale's Twitter, the system debut may be March 17th. Dale has been known to offer tidbits of industry-related info in the past, and in previous instances have been fairly accurate. You may recall that she is the same individual who correctly guessed when the Nintendo Switch trailer would debut based upon her own private sources. Weeks ago, it was speculated that the Nintendo Switch could be region-free, a major point which Dale predicts might be still kept intact for the system's launch. Another vital tidbit is that it is bound to create, or that is bound to create a lot of buzz, suggests that Nintendo is working on multiple Nintendo Switch bundles. A separate source claims that the company has plans to release a Rhythm Heaven game with Nintendo characters. Further, the Switch bundles will start out at $260 for the basic bundle, $300 for a Mario bundle, and $340 for a Zelda bundle that includes a Pro controller. While these particular details are interesting, we're still waiting to hear more. Gamers are eager to know about the system's specs, battery life, RAM, and overall graphic performance. Until the conference gets underway, or new leaks emerge, we'll just need to sit tight and take those new kernels of info with a grain of salt. I hope that's true because that price point sounds great.
Yep.
I would definitely, without even a second thought, be in for $340 for a console with Zelda and a Pro controller. That's a good deal.
Yeah, that would be giving me two of the things I want from this. Like, I want a Zelda that I can actually finish and play and enjoy, because I've never actually beaten a Zelda game before. But at the same time, it would give me a controller, which is the other thing I really want if I'm going to be buying this. And $340, I mean, I'm broke, but that's not the highest. That's not that bad of an asking price, honestly. Like, a chair, a nice office chair costs like $700 to give that some kind of scale. So,
yeah, the only thing that is a little disappointing about this is that, like, the games don't seem terribly exciting so far.
that's true. Yeah.
There is Zelda, but Zelda's also coming out on Wii U. So, like, I'm not. No one has a Switch yet either. So, but I don't know. I think that they are still missing like a key thing that is going to sell these, and I don't think it's going to be Zelda, and I don't think it's going to be Animal Crossing or Pokemon. All these games that you're going to be able to play on something else. We need something that only can be played on Switch, and I haven't seen it yet. And I don't think it's going to be Rhythm Heaven.
What about the Mario bundle?
I don't know. That could be something that some people want. How many people are still that into Mario, though?
I will play it.
All right, so
would you buy Switch just for it, though?
I won't buy anything for just one game, though. But
okay,
I mean,
but I mean, is that a decision maker for you?
I mean, it helps. Like, I legit enjoy Mario. Like, you wouldn't believe it considering how much I hate on Nintendo, but Mario's just like one of those simple, beautiful things. It's just like, I could just play this for a little bit and be happy. So yeah, that would definitely help. But and the Zelda also kind of helps me. But
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Pokemon.
Well, what would it take for Jordan to go out there and spend his bucks on a Switch?
I've said it already. I've said it so many times. I don't think it bears repeating.
It does.
Pokemon Snap 2. Pokemon Snap 2.
Oh, yeah. AKA, you're not getting a Switch.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting
maybe you're right about the hipster thing there, Myles.
No, I don't know what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I've fallen out of love with Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, and when we got to Wii, I just didn't really care anymore. They weren't really marketing to me anymore, and they lost me. I like Zelda,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not enough for me to spend $300.
That's understandable. I mean, I feel like we're in a similar place where we both fallen out of love with Nintendo. Oh my god, this sickness is making so I
Oh,
can't talk.
that's what we're gonna call them now.
Nintendo. I'm looking to get back in love with him though. I guess you're like, no, I'm okay being single for a while.
So far, I mean, like I said, I need to be convinced. I
Mm-hmm.
have not been convinced.
Oh yeah, yeah. I admit I'm waiting to see a bigger roster of games and knowing that I want to know more what games are releasing with it, what games are releasing like within the year, and I want to know like more about what it can do, just because I'm sure there's more we don't know. But Adam, did you have any closing thoughts for this article?
Mm, like I said, I think they're on the right track here. I really think a base price of 260 would actually be a really strong point for their console.
Well, they said that would be 260 for a bundle, so you think it'd be probably 240, 250 for like if you're just getting the Switch.
Well, I thought it was the Switch. Just the Switch was 260. It was 300 for Mario, 340 for or for Zelda and controller.
The furthermore, the Switch bundles will start at
Oh,
260 for a basic bundle. I mean, I assume a basic bundle is really like, hey, here's a, I don't know, a cover, have fun, a cover and some crappy headphones probably, and maybe a case. That's all I could imagine them giving you for. I'm gonna say 10 extra bucks, but yeah,
Mm.
that if it is like 260, 250, that's a really good jumping on price. But you know what else we're jumping on? More Switch news.
This comes from Joe Screbbles at IGN. Capcom is currently planning what it will develop for the Nintendo Switch, but has indicated that it may not be bringing games designed for PS4 or Xbox One to the new console. Nintendo has long been criticized for its relatively underpowered hardware and the resulting lack of attention from third-party developers and publishers. In that regard, hopes for the Switch were raised when its reveal trailer showed the console seemingly running Skyrim Special Edition and an NBA 2K game, as well as when Nintendo revealed a fairly comprehensive list of third-party partners for the platform. However, as spotted by Video Gamer, it seems that at least one of those partners still has some reservations about the Switch supporting traditional multi-platform releases. Quote, "We are currently carrying out research with regards to multi-platform implementation of software for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and Nintendo Switch," a Capcom spokesperson said in an investor Q&A. However, we do feel that there are differences in the desired direction and the playstyle of the Nintendo Switch and those of the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. Given the Switch's positioning as a home console that can be taken on the move, it's unclear what Capcom sees as the difference in playstyle. Perhaps more likely is that the rumors of the Switch's relative lack of power alongside current-gen home consoles are true. Capcom unwilling to downgrade its more intensive experiences. Quote, "At Capcom, we determine which platform to release a title for after considering the features of both our software and the hardware in question, believing we must bring the enjoyment of our games to our maximum potential." None of this is to say that Capcom won't release Nintendo Switch games, however. The publisher has a strong partnership with Nintendo with flagship franchises like Monster Hunter, currently exclusive to Nintendo hardware, and it seems that may continue. And it goes on for a bunch of other stuff that doesn't matter. I mean, this is one of my concerns, is that it's not going to be a competitive piece of hardware, and not that it necessarily needs to be everyone's first pick. I mean, obviously, we're halfway through, probably more than halfway through a generation of consoles. It's coming in at a time where it's going to be chosen second, more or less. But I think from a developer standpoint, it's not going to be something that they're going to want to invest money in if it's not going to sell. And if they can't sell the same thing on all 3 platforms, it's going to get less. It's going to be the same problem they've had with the Wii U and the Wii.
I guess that's definitely true. I kind of liked the idea of this just because it means that I feel like it's going to kind of force Nintendo to realize we are on our in our own little space, because they keep making things that there's all these versions of this one game, and pretty much you can definitely tell that no one's going to get it on the Wii. Is generally what it's been like, and like from what I've seen from working at GameStop or just as a gamer. It's like, when I'm talking to my friends who have a PS4 and a Wii, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get multi-platform stuff on the PS4, and of course Wii's for Wii games, and I kind of feel like that would be good for this console, just because anything you get on there is an experience that you can only get on there. I definitely understand what you're saying. It's not healthy if people aren't willing to give it all they've got, but at the same time, I don't know, if people are willing to make Switch specific games, that could be cool. It could be good for it. It could kind of bolster Nintendo to want more people to make more games just for them, which, of course, that might not play out well in the end, but it'd be an interesting tactic. Excuse me. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Adam, you got anything?
I just hope Nintendo can live up to the hype they're trying to build. Because like I kind of called a couple podcasts ago, I think this is their greatest and kind of last shot at making a home console work. I think if this flops, I think it's kind of done.
Yeah, maybe.
Indeed. I'm sorry I have to keep muting my mic to type and then have to come in awkwardly. But hey, you know what else came in awkwardly? And in 7 Day was yesterday. If you don't know what In 7 Day is, it's when BioWare celebrates Mass Effect stuff. And In7 is one of the organizations from the game. So, In 7 Day came out. Game Informer announced that they are going to be doing their month first with Mass Effect Andromeda, so that's pretty cool. One article they've put up, and these articles are kind of long, so I'm not going to be able to read them here, was that loyalty missions return in Mass Effect Andromeda, which, that's not really surprising to me. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I actually enjoy those loyalty missions. I like delving into the character's background a little bit and finding out, just that little bit extra about them that makes them less, oh, you're a cool character, to, oh, I actually care about you. So that's cool. I like that. And the other bit of news, excuse me, is there was a trailer that came out with the In 7 Day. It was a cinematic trailer for Mass Effect. And, of course, they broke it down a little bit for us. The trailer showed off a lot of stuff. From the name of the ship is the Hyperion. It looks like it's got this... No, it's not. It's more like... I don't even know what to call it, what to compare the ship to. It looks like one of the Gundam ships, I guess. With, the feet. And I don't know. No, that's not a good comparison. Hey, go look it up. So it's called the Hyperion. It shows off a bit of how the main characters and how they were hoping for peace. There's not going to be peace because it wouldn't be a game if there were peace. Showed off a bit of the armors, some of the local creatures. This thing looks like a angry rock. Beyond that, you definitely got a glimpse of the new villain. Presumably they're the villain. You got a glimpse at some of the other characters. What else? Maybe a Reaper. Can't tell. And yeah, the back of the villain's head, again, presumably. He's got a halo, I guess. I don't know. What did you all see that was interesting this In 7 Day? And anything you got a comment? I'm sure everyone's excited because Mass Effect. But.
Yeah. Adam, you go first if you got anything.
I'm going to be playing a Mass Effect game in March. That was my biggest takeaway. Or spring. I think it said just spring. I'm excited. Like I said, the trailer was cool. Didn't necessarily show me all that much. But, I am optimistic and excited because I love me some Mass Effect.
I don't know. One of the things that I took away from the news, besides just the trailer, was that loyalty mission thing. So, like, I like having those missions. I think they're really interesting to get into characters' backgrounds, but also I like it when they actually have like substance and meaning. And I'm not so sure that I'm thrilled that they're not going to have like any implications in the main plot. Like, so if you don't, what they're trying to do is make it so that people don't have to do them in order to, like, if you don't do them, you don't miss out on something. But I feel like doing them should have some sort of reward besides just, oh, I know this character better, and not just like, oh, I got a new gun. Like, I want there to be some sort of story implication, and it doesn't seem like they're going that route, which is a little disappointing in my mind.
Now, I feel like short of Javik's mission, Javik from Mass Effect 2? 2, maybe?
Maybe. I think 3, actually.
3? Okay. It was 3.
Say, I don't remember that character.
Okay.
He was a Protean, right?
Yeah, Promethean. He was DLC, so I don't know if you didn't get the DLC, then, which was kind of stupid because he was literally the species of the characters that you're following after. So yeah, he definitely should have been in the game. But I digress. I feel like outside of him, no one's loyalty missions ever did really connect to the main story. So, I mean, arguably, you're not missing anything that's important. Like,
Sure.
If you're doing loyalty missions, you're doing it because you want to know more about the character and the lore, not necessarily because it has something to do with the story. I mean, unless you're saying that, like, I know in Mass Effect 2, if you hadn't done their loyalty missions, their, like, chances of dying in the end sequence went up by, like, 80%. Is that right? Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Yes.
Okay.
Sort of. I mean, I would like there to be more, like, actual implications to the story rather than just like a percentage increase of them dying.
Okay.
Like maybe a percentage increase of them dying because they didn't get some implant that they needed or something like that would like cause them to deflect bullets. I don't know. But like just something more substantial. Yeah. But it seems like there isn't going to be anything, which I understand. They want to make it more inclusive. They don't want people to they don't want to force people to go on dates. Yeah. Basically. But I like going on dates.
All right. You have a wife for that. But yeah, and I did not mention the enemy species, which is what I'm going to call them until they're in the game and there's a switch and they're like, we're actually running from this and we thought you were their agents. And they're the enemy species. They're called the Ket. So, there you go.
I was going to call them the Halos.
Unfortunately, they have a name already.
Damn it.
Yep, unfortunately. But you can call this next story something. I don't know. Adam.
Yes, Mafia 3 has shipped 4.5 million copies in first week, fastest selling 2K game in history. Mafia 3 sold in or shipped to stores 4.5 million copies its first week on the market, making it the fastest selling game in the history of 2K games, according to parent company Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two Interactive announces the sales mark today in an earning call. Take-Two Interactive announced the sales mark today in an earnings report, noting the figures higher than any other 2K published title, which includes NBA 2K, Borderlands, and BioShock franchises, according to the Washington Post. It's important to note, however, that the 4.5 million figure is units sold to retailers, not units sold to consumers. 2K did not provide the numbers for how many copies of Mafia 3 were actually sold to consumers. I just thought that was kind of cool, especially like the fact that this is like it looks to be possibly outpacing like the 2K series. As well as like Borderlands and BioShock is pretty impressive. So, yeah, good on them.
This is honestly surprising, given that Mafia 3 came out and had a kind of rough patch on release. I feel like everyone was like, "This story's cool and it's interesting, but the game has issues and problems," and I feel like that hurt it. But yet, and still, they're coming out and saying, "Oh, hey, we're To be fair, they're saying we're shipping all these copies. We're shipping them. Go buy them now that we've shipped them. Yeah, I mean, more power to it. It was a very interesting take on things, I guess.
And I think what you're saying is accurate. As somebody who's put some time into it, I think the story, the voice acting is all fantastic. The gameplay, I wouldn't say the gameplay has problems, but if you like compare it to something like Grand Theft Auto 5, it's just not as good. It's just, it's a fairly, it's like a serviceable, like, open world shooter. So it's not spectacular, but luckily the story elevates it to a better game.
Yeah. Adam, Jordan, you got any thoughts?
I've not played the game. I've heard people talking about it. I've heard it sounds good, mostly. Mostly good things. So this news seems like it's deserved. So
it's the kind of thing that I don't know if I'd recommend it at $60, but if come holiday season, it gets to around 40 or so, definitely worth the money.
Okay. That's what's it called? A shining recommendation? I forget what the actual term is.
I mean, if you really want to buy it at 60. If you're just kind of like, I don't know, just wait till the price comes down, but it will be worth your money.
There you go. And of course, our last story of the day is
That Game Company has teased that new game.
Is
I can get the link to open up. There we go. That game company, the developer behind Journey and Flower, has teased what appears to be its new project. The company unveiled a single image along with a Twitter account that just says "at that next game" and the words "a game about giving." The tweet and full image is like a nice blue. You can probably see its color glowing on me. And a candle lighting another candle. Yeah, that's basically the entire news. I'm expecting something around Thanksgiving. Or at least news around Thanksgiving. I doubt the game's going to be released. They probably would want to market that game a little bit more, especially with Flower and Journey's popularity. Did you guys play any That Game Company games?
I've played both those games.
Nope.
What'd you think?
Loved both of them. I thought loved Flower, loved Journey. Definitely on board to play whatever else they release.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Myles, you haven't played either of them?
I've not. I'm intending to play Journey at some point, though.
Cool.
I would really love to see them take a crack at a VR game.
Now,
That'd be interesting.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by something. Did you mention the other two pictures?
This article doesn't mention that.
Okay.
What other two pictures are there?
The other two pictures, which I will link in our... that's not what I was trying to do. I will link it in our Facebook chat. But,
Okay.
excuse me. The other two pictures are actually... make me a little bit more interested. One of the pictures makes me more interested. One of them is a bunch of children holding hands. It looks like they have cloaks on, or not cloaks, but parkas of some sort. So that's something. It's the same artistic style as the candles. And then the next picture is the piece de resistance. It's like a big cloud bank and a kind of I would describe it as like a gateway. Looks kind of like Stonehenge. Yeah, that one. That one interests me a little bit more. I can see the light at the top of the clouds. Don't know what that is. I don't know why I'm interested, because I literally don't. I don't know anything about what I'm looking at right now.
It looks pretty.
It's definitely pretty, and I mean, they're magic. That's the only thing I get from this: magic and pretty landscapes.
I mean, they do pretty games. Both Flower and Journey are pretty games, and I believe they did Flow. Am I wrong about that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
Hold on.
I would fact check, but I don't want to type right now. They did Flow.
No, I'm wrong about that. Oh no, they did. They did Flow.
Okay.
Flow is the one where you could be little amoebas and they would like eat each other and like you would get bigger. And
I actually enjoyed that game. I have played one of their games.
Yay! Yeah, so I actually haven't played that one, but when I was playing on PS3. I really, really wanted to get it, and I just never did it. But they do pretty games, and this obviously proves to be much the same. Both pretty and like meaningful. I don't know how meaningful Flow actually was, but Flower and Journey.
It taught you the meaning of life. That it's actually just a cycle of being eaten and destroyed and being put towards a bigger cause. It's hopeless. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. So the free stories this week were Animal Crossing receives Amiibo and VR support. There's possibly a new Tomb Raider game, which is going to be called Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I think it actually got not officially confirmed, but read the article. Diablo 3 announcements were made at BlizzCon to no one's surprise, but they're bringing Diablo 1 into Diablo 3, and there's a Necromancer class. In Warships, you can get Steven Seagal as a commander. That's a thing. Jade Empire sequel is never not a thing on the table. That sentence came out weird, but yeah, it's always on their table, I guess. Excuse me. Fallout 4 mods are finally happening on PS4 in the next update for the game. And last but not least, I missed the fresh new Steam overlay, but that's a thing. And Deadpool director is now directing the Sony Sonic movie. ... What? So yeah, there you go. That's what was not mentioned this week, but you can definitely go look up those bits and informations on for yourself. But moving on to the Reedus Feetus moment of the show, quote of the show. It's been a while. Go.
All right, so this one is, I try to link them to our topics, or our thoughts from nowhere. So this one comes from John Riccitello. I believe he was like a CEO or something for EA at one point. Mm-hmm. Quote goes, series grow ever longer. Original titles are on the decline. Games with new at their core are disappearing. This state of affairs deeply saddens us. And us, I assume he was referring to EA. Do we want to roll into the thought from nowhere based on that, and we can kind of discuss them both together?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, we can. So, the thought from nowhere this week is coming to us from our own Brett Williams. Remember, you can submit... Oh my god, this sickness. You can submit your thoughts from nowhere to us if you go to... oh my god, what's the website? It is contact.mong@gmail.com. So yeah, there you go. That's the good stuff. But the thought from nowhere this week is, do enough games truly push the medium forward? No Man's Sky has given us something we have never seen before, but doesn't have many peers in innovation. Have sequels and their conventions stalled advancement this generation? Kinda? I mean, it's I feel like, especially after seeing No Man's Sky and what a horrible, mess that was.
Yep.
It's just like most developers try to stick with what's good or what they know will sell, essentially. And unfortunately, yeah, that kind of like murders innovation, unfortunately, unless they're like taking a series that's already established in a whole new direction. So unfortunately, yes, that is what's happening because people are trying to be safe, and hopefully it'll have to change because, I mean, you can't keep sequels going forever, but still.
So the dirty truth about it, and the thing that most people don't like talking about, and people, I mean developers, is that creating new IP is incredibly risky. That, like, for example, Naughty Dog developing The Last of Us, there was a lot of apprehension about that game coming out. Not even just from the public, but also from, obviously, Naughty Dog's perspective. Just because it's an unestablished franchise. And that means that it could totally flop and that they lose their money. The next Batman vs. Superman movie that comes out could be total trash. Okay? But, like, movies tend to tend to make their money back, especially big budget ones. And in comparison, video games are almost always big budget, at least like on the AAA scale, and do not necessarily make all their money back. So investing in, say, an Uncharted 2, 3, 4 is basically a sure thing. You're going to be getting that money back.
Yeah.
And then some. But creating something new is very, very dangerous, and that's part of the reason why we don't see it as much.
Unfortunately.
Good.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
I'm muting my mic, Adam. Go.
I think that, truth be told, it's very hard to have an original idea anymore. Like, even just to kind of like point out, like, the reference point on this is like No Man's Sky being something we've never seen before, and that's kind of a misnomer, because I think that it was kind of marketed as such to PlayStation gamers because they don't play that type of game much.
Sure.
But really, No Man's Sky is just basically is something well embedded in the whole like kind of survival sim genre. I think that where you see innovation is you'll see like I think that where you will find innovation in this day and age is you'll see games that are still within like a certain genre, but in one way or another they may provide something new, some component that's innovative to the overall game formula. I think probably a pretty good example of that is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. While that was a pretty standard open world action game, I do think that the concept of the Nemesis system was like a huge innovation and like a big bold new step in like how we play games, and I think it is something that ultimately will, I think someday will change, will change games as we know it, simply because it's something that I think will be iterated on and toyed with. I also think there's stuff out there like, like even just like the VR stuff, like VR games may be well within, like established genres, but they're kind of pushing the envelope the way we play those types of games.
Yes. Yeah, definitely hardware-wise, we're seeing innovation. I think there's, hell, PS3 to PS4, or same with Xbox 360, Xbox One. We got the share functions, which were a big deal for consoles. Of course, your example of VR is, I think, going to be looked back on as a huge step. It certainly seems to be popular right now, at least. Right. And we can't count out the Switch, which I think will also be a large step in hardware development. It's an interesting move. So at least hardware-wise, there is a decent amount of innovation going on, but that's only once every 8 years or so, maybe. And so we can't count on that as much, or at least the industry can't count on that as much for remaining profitable. And that says nothing for the developers who are living hand to mouth for each new game that they come out with. Myles, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I wasn't going to say anything at all.
Before I thought you... Okay.
No. I was just I was filling dead air. That was all.
Okay. What else was I going to say on this? Yeah, I think you have a good point, Adam, just about how there are points of innovation in games now. We don't necessarily get like a huge, like, brand new game that we've never seen before, because it's hard to do. Like, there's no such thing as a brand new original idea.
And I also think that a lot of innovation these days is incredibly subtle. It's refinement rather than like massive jumps forward. I mean, like, I think, for instance, like Grand Theft Auto 5 was a game of a generation, not because it just like radically like innovated, but it just took every like all these different game mechanics and just like just like spit shine them up to like 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 pretty much like close to perfection. And so I think what we see in good gaming is like refinement and like like slow refinement and tooling of like key gameplay elements.
Yeah, if anything, the only thing I have to say on this topic is I misspoke. We're not seeing no, like, it's not, it's what you all were saying. It's not that we're not going to ever see innovation again. Not that we're not seeing any. We are seeing it right now. It's just, it's dangerous. So that's why most people are staying away from it. Honestly, I still think No Man's Sky was a wonderful foray into something, and that the technology they used could be amazing applied in different ways. It's just that that game itself did not resonate very well with people, and it just kind of fell flat on its face. So that's going to scare some people off of making their own games that are new and not just the same thing we're used to. But it's also going to embolden some who are like, I could do that. I could do that better. Or it's just the people out there who are always like, I want to do something on my own. I want to make something that's mine and not like Halo 15.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, in the situation of No Man's Sky, it's not like it's like a mystery why it failed. It's not like you could go like, well, everything was perfect. Why didn't people glom to it? I think any developer could take a look and really easily like isolate. Well, if I were going to do that, here are the things that I would want to try to avoid.
Yeah. It wasn't just the game that was the problem, but actually the game's actually not that bad. It's pretty amazing considering what it does. But so yeah. Any more comments on this thought from nowhere?
No, I don't think so. I think just probably a pretty solid yes. There isn't enough innovation in gaming, but it's not exactly unwarranted.
Yeah. I admit, I'm gonna, even though I just tried to end the topic, Colin Moriarty frequently says something where he's like, show me a game that's come out in the past, on this generation, like the past generations, that we couldn't have had on like a Nintendo. And he doesn't mean like graphically, because of course that, you can't do like PlayStation 4 graphics on Nintendo. He's like, mechanics wise and what you do in the game, show me a game that we couldn't have done back then. And it's kind of it's sad, but it's a good point. It's just like, I mean, games are fun. Games are really fun. And when something works right, it works right. You can't say it doesn't. But it's also just like, hey, you could try and the industry could innovate more. I know I'm a little no one who's talking to a microphone and doesn't actually make games, but it's a valid point. There could be more innovation, just like how we play games, what their mechanics are, etc., etc. But yeah, there you go. That was the thought from nowhere. Now we're moving on to the closing segment. It's kind of good because I want to stop talking now. Our schedule is to record on Tuesday evenings at 9:30 and release sometime later. It might be a little longer than usual. I'm using a new program for editing, so I need to see what that's going to be like. You can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com, like I mentioned earlier, if you want to send us thoughts from nowhere, if you have questions for us. And I swear to God, if you have a question about RuneScape, I'll find a way to ban you in every way I can. And on top of that, you can find us on our Mong Twitter account, which is at mong.com. Dot is spelled out. That's where you follow if you want to see whenever anything happens with the Mong universe, whether that's a story or a video going up on our website or our YouTube, or if we're going live here, whether that's for the podcast or for PlayStation Plus You and Me, or whatever else anyone's streaming on here. And of course, you can find our YouTube channels. Mong Network is the one where all the podcasts go and everything. Middle Nowhere Gaming Plays is where all the gaming stuff goes. Well, not gaming stuff. It's all gaming stuff. Where the Let's Plays go. Twitch channel is, of course, Mong Plays. That's where you should be Tuesday nights at 9:30 p.m. if you're in my time zone. And other times for... I'm in GMT -5. Figure it out from there. So yeah, Mong Plays, that's where we're going live. You can also find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. You can check out our website, which is middleofnowheregaming.com. That's where everything is. You should definitely check it out. Also, if you want to be awesome and help us keep the lights on, we have a Patreon. We appreciate anything you can give, and if you can't give, we still appreciate you just hanging out with us. So definitely keep doing that. Keep hanging out. We don't want to get lonely. I don't want to be lonely no more. I don't want to have to pay for this. And last but not least, if you're looking for us, these three wonderful people on Twitter, I am Furious Milk, Adam,
Fanboy_Adam.
and Jordan.
JL_Floor.
If you need to figure out how to spell any of those, you can go to the video on YouTube. It'll have them all on the screen for the whole duration of it. One of the names in everyone's picture looks like a normal name, and the other one looks like a Twitter name. So, there you go. It's been fun being back. Hopefully next week no one's sick. That'd be wonderful, but it is getting into winter, so that's probably a lot to ask for. Let's go. It's over. Y'all forgotten your outros.
Oh yeah, well, I thought you just said it was over, and I thought you were gonna end it there. I was worried. Okay, fine.
The purge will now commence in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't like that one, Adam. You need to change that because that creeps me out a little bit.
I'm just preparing you for where things are going right now. So
God, I hope not. I feel like my area would be fine because I feel like no one cares that much around here. Anyway, yeah, let's.
Scared.
I don't have an outro. Have a good one.